This is ABTV, Animal Bites Television. For animal lovers, by animal lovers.
Hey, I'm Primitive Tim, and today's episode is all about gopher tortoises. These tortoises are like the tanks of the animal world. They have an extremely strong shell that keeps them protected, along with scales on their legs that are like chainmail. Nothing gets through these things. Very few animals can even predate on an adult gopher tortoise. Now, gopher tortoises are herbivores, so they only eat plants. Now, they eat a wide variety of different plants, all kinds of grasses, little shrubs, mostly things that are newly coming up. Now, what's cool is gopher tortoises will eat a lot of the wild plants that I like to eat. So this right here, this is spiderwort, and it's not bad, and I can see where a few tortoises munched off of this piece already. But it's not a bad plant to eat. Now, they'll eat the grass of sandspurs. Now, basically all sandspurs are is they're grains that have spikes on them. So think like wheat or corn, just with spikes on it. So these are actually edible to us. However, we need to cook them to char off all those spikes. So all I did was burn off the little spiky parts and toast the core of the kernel there, and you just pluck it off and stick it in your mouth. Not bad at all. Just make sure there's no purple fungus on them. That might cause you to start seeing things. Now, with such a vegetarian diet, their poo is going to be all plant fiber. So this is a piece I just took and broke in half. Look at that, it's like a little berry or something. Let's squeeze that open. There's seeds inside of it. That's very interesting. There's a little seed in there. I'm not able to identify the plant, but it's got to be something from around here. And it might even be a grape. Hold on, let me go grab a grape real quick. I'm back. So this is a grape right here. I just plucked off the vine. And let's check out the seeds, see if they're similar. Oh, lo and behold, check that out. It's the same thing. So let's see here, they've been eating grapes. That's very interesting because grapes grow up really high, so they're not gonna be able to get into any grapes until the grapes ripen and fall, and then they're eating them. And this is the seed right here. This is a fresh one I just picked. You know what? I just learned something new today. I had no idea they eat grapes, but that's really cool. So you can see they have a very varied diet from grapes to grasses. And let's dig through this stuff a little bit more. I'm seeing a lot of big leafy stuff. That's really interesting. And of course, a lot of spindly grassy stuff. Let's break this up a bit more. Ooh. It smells just like cow dung. That's really interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more grape seeds in there. A lot of broad leafy stuff. You know, they're probably eating the grapevine leaves as well. I'm not seeing a whole lot of other leafy stuff around here that they could get at. Yeah, that's surprising to me. I didn't realize they utilized so much from the grapevine. Now, only eating plants like this, it makes it a little bit more difficult to digest. So like cows, you know, they have multiple stomachs to digest their food, and they chew their cud and all that. Now, gopher tortoises, the way they conquer this is when they eat it, there's actually little critters in their digestive system that will help them out with digestion. So when they eat all this planty fibrous stuff, these little critters get in there and they really get all the energy out, get the water out. And so when they take a poop, all they're getting out is that fibers, which doesn't have any energy or anything useful to the tortoise. Now, of course, gopher tortoises need water, but what's really cool about that is there's no ponds around here. So what do, right? They've got to get water from plants, and also in the morning when there's still dew on the ground, they're gonna be eating plants that are laden with drops of dew. So that'll be their water intake, and they don't have to go down to a pond or a river to drink. Now right now it's middle of summer, middle of the day. We're not even thinking about cold weather, but it does get cold and it does drop below freezing every so often here in Florida during the winter time. So these burrows are absolutely critical to over 100 other animals to stay warm during the winter, because being in the ground like that is so important. And these burrows, they can be about 10 feet deep and up to 50 feet long. So that can hold a lot of animals, and of course it's not packed full. But what the gopher tortoise also does is it will dig several burrows And so he's only going to be hanging out in one burrow at a time during the winter. So the rest of these empty burrows are for all the other animals. All right, it's just getting too hot out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to last fall when I looked much younger and check out some baby gopher tortoises because they're so cool. This little guy is the next generation of tortoises. And it's so cool to see the babies like this, because that means this population, which is actually on the land that I live on, is actually reproducing and doing well. And this little guy is a testament to that success. He's trying to crawl away real fast because he knows he's a lot more vulnerable at this age, and so hiding in the shell isn't really going to do a whole lot because their shell is still a little bit soft, so most animals can still bite through it. So he's trying to get away like mad, so we're just gonna let him go. Man, he's like a little tank. Yep. There we go. Hey, thanks for joining me and hanging out with these awesome tortoises. I had a blast hanging out with them, and I hope you did too. So until next time, find a new way to appreciate nature.
When you look at the belly, the width of this animal, there's not another snake in this area of central Florida that's got the girth that the eastern diamondback rattlesnake has. And if we follow right on down to the tail,
This is ABTV.